Hello, all. This is Katie from Crafting Ruby Dreams, and welcome to my channel. I talk about planners, goal setting, writing, publishing, and getting right with my finances. So today has been a day. I had to go into my office unexpectedly. I usually am not in on Thursdays anyway, but yeah, we had a facilities issue, and it thankfully was not as bad as it could have been. It could have been much, much worse. So I'm very thankful that the resulting issues were not worse. So luckily, I was able to take care of what I needed to take care of and get back in the early afternoon and continue working for the rest of the day. But yeah, that was unexpected. And the thing was, is that I was going to try and log in early anyway, so I could do this around this time. But yeah, I was able to. I was checking the work. I tend to check the work Slack as I get ready for the day, just to kind of have a heads up as to if there's anything popping off early in the morning, which generally there isn't, but today there was. So it was a situation. But yeah, so work is work. But I think it was a good example of how you have to figure out how you can roll with unexpected situations. For some people, it is a lot easier to adjust your schedules and expectations of what you hope to accomplish throughout the day than it is for others. I absolutely understand that. It can be really, really rough for some people when you have a sudden change in plans that you were in no way expecting. So this situation, it just threw off my expectation of whether or not I was actually going to be able to do this live stream tonight, because I didn't know how long I would need to commit to being at the office and dealing with the facilities issue. Like I said, thankfully, it was not as bad as it could have been, so I didn't have to spend the whole day there. But also, it's like it forced me to reevaluate what I had hoped to do, just regular work to get done today. So I am somebody who is able to quickly adapt. I am also thankful that I don't necessarily these days leave certain regular work tasks until the last minute. So it's not like I had to throw together something that was due today and push it aside to deal with this more urgent issue that had to be addressed. So because I can quickly adjust on the fly, I tend not to think about what I need to do in situations where you have not planned for. However, I know some other people, they do, in order to be able to adjust quickly, they have to have already made a plan of, well, if this happens, this is how I will deal with it. So I just recommend figuring out what type of person you are. If you are somebody who can easily adjust, and I will also say, if you're somebody who can easily adjust, if you're constantly having to adjust, as somebody I know said, the rubber band only stretches so far. So if you're asked to constantly stretch and adjust and deal with the things, there's only so far you can go, and you will hit a point of, I've adjusted too much. I need to just have some stability and let myself recharge that ability to adjust. So just keep that in mind as well. And so you're either somebody who can relatively easily adjust, or you're somebody who is not. And again, there is no specific value to being either type of person. Just knowing what type of person you are is a good thing, so that you can figure out how you deal with situations that come up unexpectedly. So I'm going to have some water because I need it. It's just, whew. I'm also the type of person who, when I realized I had to go into the office today, I was also like, oh, not exactly pleased about that or the reason behind why I have to go in, but it gives me the opportunity to do this other thing that I had hoped to do this week that I didn't get a chance to do when plans changed on Tuesday. So, so try to find the silver lining. This is mindset. And speaking of mindset, that is going to be the MäksēLife's presentation tomorrow on their YouTube channel or their Facebook group, the free Facebook group. If you're at all interested, mindset is something that I think I want to focus on with some areas of life in 2023. So if you can find a way to turn your mindset around with regards to something, that can be helpful. Again, it's probably easier for some people than for others. So again, figuring out what type of person you are and doing what you need to do within what you are capable of doing and working with your own personality and system. And yeah, so just some things to think about as we roll into 2023. I also want to do a correction to something I was talking about yesterday. So I was talking about words of the year. We had a great question about that. And I went looking, this is the 2022 booklet that I used. And I went looking, I'm like, oh yeah, let me see and check out my word of the year. And my word of the year for 2022 was not create. It was stabilize. So create was my word for 2021. So that is why that is on that painting. I still contend and know that it being a sunflower was that was the truly interesting thing. But the reason I want to talk about this is because I have create in different ways, like up in my apartment. So that one painting that I did that is something that was constantly in my face. I saw it every single day. And so it was frequently in my mind. So that is the power of having a touchstone word with you. I thought my word of the year for this year was create because it was just constantly in my face. The only place I had stabilize was right here. There is absolutely a reason why I chose stabilize. And when I saw that, I was just like, oh, yes, that was my intention, was to basically stabilize all of the work that I did in 2020 and 2021. So I think personally, I think it was still a very good choice for me, but it was also something that I didn't keep in front of my face. And so it's just something that I just kind of put out of mind. And I'm somebody who I need it in front of my face to constantly go forward. So I would recommend if you do choose a word of the year and it's really, really resonating with you, I would think about doing something to put that word in front of you on a routine basis so that your mind, even subconsciously, is touching it. So I am probably, honestly, I'm probably going to go with create again as a word of the year, even unofficially for 2023. I'm going to work through the intentions today in the 2023 notebook workbook for this year. And but I really think just because create just feels so resonant to me, and it's been a really power word for me since 2021. I think I'd like to keep it and just keep the momentum building. As a reminder, what we talked about yesterday, I think it was Katie, KDB. She was talking about how she likes to, if she's got a word of the year that has been working for her, but she wants to basically iterate and move to the next level, she'll choose a similar word for the next year's word of the year. And so that's something you can absolutely do. I just really like create because that gets to the core of what I want to be doing at this point in time. So before we get to the intentions page, I do want to share what my choices were for trying to move up. So I worked through this yesterday. This is the compass assessment, and I figured out all my current scores. Well, in the highlighted sections, and again, I use the Moxie markers, which are these. And I will note, because other people who have reviewed those already have noted how wet they are as markers. They release a lot of ink when you use them. So yeah, there's a bit of bleed through. Let's see, you can see that right there with the purple. So there was a bit of bleed through on this paper. Just to be aware of that. There was not any bleed through of the other markers on the other page. It was really only the purple, but just as a heads up. So for the personal area of life, what my score was 7. And so what I would like to move it up to is 8, which the spoiler is that none of these I'm trying to go more than 2, but it's also being aware of what you think your capabilities are for the year and what areas of life you're actually going to have some space to work on. So for personal area of life, it's currently 7. I would like to try and move up to 8. Fun and recreation is also a 7. Again, would just like to try and move it up to 8. For work and learning, the current score is 9. I'm not trying to move it. It's like, I highly doubt that I'll be able to hit a perfect 10 just because there's stuff that I really have to work on. But depending on how well the writing goes and publishing goes in the next year, I might just be like, let's celebrate all the things. If that's the case, I might hit a 10, but I'm not going to put the energy into trying to raise my score. My energy is going to be directed to this area of life and just doing the work. So that's just doing the work around what I want to be doing. So it's essentially maintenance in some ways. Family and relationships is currently an 8. I'm not trying to move it up. Again, more of a maintenance aspect, and trying to keep things a steady ship. So health and wellness, this is one of the areas where I would like to try and bump it up by 2, because the current score is 6, but I would like to move it up to an 8. Again, we will see. Because of how much energy I know I'm going to be spending in work and learning, health and wellness is something that there's a possibility that I should be able to put it up to 8, but at the same time, I don't think if I can increase it even just the tiniest bit, I don't think I will be unhappy. Spiritual and personal growth is currently at 7. Only want to try and move it up to 8. Financial was a 4 currently. I would like to try and move it up to 6. Again, I have some things that are attached to work and learning that will influence how that particular ideal goal plays out. And then physical environment, again, currently 4, and I would like to bump it up to 6. That one is the other main area of life that I'm expecting to have to expend a lot of energy, both mental and physical energy on. So I'm hoping that what I plan on doing as part of preparing for and then actually moving apartments next year, we'll be able to move that up, but we'll see. So I just wanted to give an update as to that. And then the intentions. So we're going to go ahead and work through those. So these are a bunch of questions that are, I believe, I can't remember if these are available as a free download. They just may be in the planners or the booklet for the companion notebooks. So what could I use more of in my life this year? And again, these are looking forward to the coming year. What can I use more of in my life? Money. I'll just be honest. Money is always a good thing. What could I use less of in my life this year? I'm going to go with clutter, both physical and mental, because I need to work on the physical, and the physical contributes to the and not comma and mental. And the physical clutter does contribute to the mental clutter, and It's a lot. It was kind of interesting yesterday. I had started watching a YouTube channel, which was a TEDx talk about the physical weight of clutter. I will link it in the description below after the live stream. But it was basically what the physical toll cost of clutter is. And then what was interesting was later that afternoon, I was watching Instagram stories, and Chrissy from MäksēLife, her personal Instagram account popped up, and she was talking about the physical and cost of clutter in her life. And it was the fact that I'd seen that TEDx talk video within a couple of hours of her getting on and talking about it. And I sent her a message saying, hey, weird, I was just watching this YouTube video about this exact topic. And she was like, oh my God, I gotta go watch it. So it wasn't like she had also seen it recently. It's just two separate areas. And so when I see convergences like that, I try to make note of them as something that I have to pay attention to. And that might be something that I might want to consider noting down in a notebook that I keep with me, or my phone, the notes app in my phone, or my planner itself, whatever I have on hand. I think if you notice convergences like that, because you don't always notice them, but when you do, it's probably not a bad thing to note it down and give some thought to, because for me, what I say, I say the universe is yelling at me. I really felt this in 2021 because I would have weeks. Now, Club Moxie in 2021 was just 6 months. It was May through October. There would be weeks where we would be talking about something in Club Moxie, and then I would hear it in something I was doing as part of my strengths coaching with Better Faster Academy. And it would also come up in my therapy session for the week. So all three self-improvement things I was doing would be talking about the same topic, coming at it from different directions, obviously, but they would be talking basically about the exact same thing with absolutely no not cohesion or collusion. Collusion is probably the closest thing. They would not talk to each other. It would just naturally come up in all three things. And so I would just always make note. It's just like, okay, universe is yelling at me. Here's the topic for this week. And so it just was a lot, and you just pay attention to that and see if there's anything further you may want to do with regards to whatever that topic is in your life. All right, what characteristics would I like to nurture this year? I'm going to say my ability to connect with people, and that's going to play out in a number of ways. Connect. Kind of close to this. If you're at all interested in going to Go Wild, whether or not you've already bought a ticket, they released they opened the volunteer application form today. So if you go into the Planners Gone Wild Facebook group, they have the link to the volunteer form there. And if you haven't already bought a ticket, you can still apply to be a volunteer, because I know some people will apply to be volunteers and will only come if they're selected as a volunteer, because there is a registration rate reduction if you are a volunteer and you put in your time. So one of the questions is, why are you applying to be a volunteer? And I said, honestly, I want the discounted rate. And I said, and I would like, I see volunteering as an opportunity to meet a wide range of people who are attending the conference. And I'm very honest about that. That is a very, I was about to say clear. That's not the right word. That is a very honest, I'm not coming up with the exact word I want, but that is a reason that is very dear to me, because it's something I really, truly enjoy doing. But I also have to be honest, it's like I'm trying to watch my pennies. And so I would very much like the discounted rate. So there's that. But yeah, in addition to doing something like that for Go Wild, I'm also want to nurture that with regards to publishing and doing things that I need to do to market my books, such as reaching out to book influencers and making connections with them and saying, and reaching out and making the connection is my goal. And nothing beyond that is, because stuff beyond that is outside of my control. But as part of my reaching out and making that connection, I also plan on offering the book for free to those influencers. So that's something that helps me with marketing, with publishing. I also want to lean into that with family and relationships, and just being connected with my family and with my friends and nurturing those relationships. So yeah, it comes into play in a number of different areas of life. 3 habits I want to develop this year are 100 ounces of H2O per day. Let's see, walking half hour 3 times per week. And then reading at least 1 book per week. I have a feeling that last one might actually be the hardest, because I will go on reading binges. I can not complete a book for a number of weeks and then read 10 books in 1 week, especially when I'm sick and don't actually have to do anything else but lie in bed. So it's possible for me to just do binges, but on average, I would like to try for 1 book a week. This year I will be more. Oh, that's a good question. What do I want to be more? I could be more me. You know what? I'm going to put that down. I will be more me, because being me is, I think, what is working for me right now, and understanding myself and just leaning into what my strengths are as a person. So I will do less. Ooh, what do I want to do less of? I will do less. Honestly, I should have looked at these. I always say this. I should have looked at these questions ahead of time and give some thought. But I can honestly say today, it would have gone right out of my mind. Let's see. I will do less. I'll come back to that. I will give myself grace for not achieving things. Sorry, it's like as I'm writing things in the time I think I think I should achieve them. So yeah, managing my expectations. I need to work on that a lot. I will let go of. This is like, I will do less. They're related. Hold on, let me just blow my nose. It's like this post-COVID allergies. A little bit of a cold. I apologize. I don't actually have a cold. It's just gunk. I will let go of. You know what? I will do less drinking of soda. We will say that. Because right now I have a Coca-Cola habit. And it doesn't help on days when I just want to go to sleep. Drinking of soda or pop or whatever you call it in your neck of the woods. I will let go of beating myself up for having high expectations. I will embrace. Oh, that's a good question. I will embrace learning about what I do best, because that's the short answer, frankly, is I really, really want to figure out I've done a lot of work around this concept in the last couple of years. And it's basically really a lot of what strengths coaching is about, is figuring out like what you are really, really good at and then leaning even further into that. And there are aspects of myself that I have a really, really good grasp on with regards to what I do best and holding on to that. But there are other things that I'm still trying to figure out. And so I want to learn and dig deeper in some areas as to what do I do really good at surrounding this thing that I can lean even more into. So I'll do that. So I am, let's see, I'm going to pick up one of these markers, and I'm going to do, I always like green. I lean towards green, and I will tell you part of it is because I just love the color green. And it's my little hair thing. I look really good in green. I also like the fact that green is usually equal to money. I have no problem saying that. So trying to figure out, do I want to be fancy this year, or do I? Let's see. Let's do. So I just wrote it in fancy script, just like that. What I've seen some people doing is some like lining with just a gel ink pen like this. I don't think that is particularly, I haven't quite figured out how to work a brush pen yet. So, and I think that kind of stylization of lining with a gel ink pen is best when you're using a brush ink pen. So what my word means to me, I am creating my best self and life. All right. So those are my intentions. All right. Now we have the setting goals and doing a lot of the goal work prep pages. I think, let's see, where are we at time-wise? Oh, we're almost at the 30-minute mark. I think these are a good thing to, like, again, read through if you're not already familiar with the system. Darian, who is the digital media, I forget what her new title is because she just got promoted. But she was talking about in the live last night how, even though this is like her 4th year using the system, she once read through all of this prep work and highlighted the stuff. So I think I was talking about that a little bit last night. And so again, if you feel that it's up for you, and if you've worked with the system before and you feel that it would be useful for you, I absolutely would do it. And I would also, like I said, if you're not familiar with the system, go ahead and read through. So what I'm going to do now is what I like to do for the things to consider page. I like to go through and highlight the things that are resonant to me at that particular time. And I just go ahead and use the marker. So I'm going to go ahead, budget, income, money management, spending, increasing wealth, insurance, That's not a priority for me. Financial planning, relationship with money, sinking funds, sure. Bills, yes. Peace of mind, savings, debt. This is the funny thing. Taxes is one of the options. I actually feel like I have a decent relationship with taxes. And the reason I say that is because I do not want to have any interactions with the IRS at all. So I will get all of my stuff together and get that shit filed as soon as possible. Now, I will tell you that I'm usually getting a refund. So that makes it a lot easier. If you are not getting a refund and you owe, that's harder. I have owed in the past. There's such a mental difference when you owe versus when you are getting a refund. But for the most part, I generally don't think about taxes because I just get them done off my plate, and I don't think about them again for an entire year. But the thing is, what I should say, here's the thing about taxes for me. With regards to my finances and specifically my writing, one of my very, very basic starter level markers of success is that I owe taxes on my writing. And I have yet to really hit that mark. I have worked hard at getting an actual income from my writing, but hasn't quite hit that point yet. So I would very much like to have to owe taxes on my writing income. I can't, it's out of my control to a degree because I can't guarantee that people are actually going to buy my books. There are a lot of things I can do to create the possibility of people buying my books, and that is both crafting a very reader-oriented storytelling experience that is putting effort into marketing my book, both like using time such as like going on TikTok and creating videos that hopefully will create an sense of appeal for readers so that they go out and buy the book. Connecting with book influencers to get them interested in talking about my book, making my book available for sale in a number of different markets, in evaluating what is the best market and where to put my energy. There are a lot of things that I can do, but I can do all that work and still see nothing just because of the way the market is at this point in time with regards to reading and books in the general economy. So that was my little side rant. So I'm still going to ignore taxes on this particular thing. Emergency funds. Yeah. Credit rating, I'm going to skip. So I decided to skip insurance, audit, financial security, automation, financial, which I don't know what that means, taxes, and credit rating for the financial area of life. And let's see, I'm just like kind of like picking colors at random. Physical environment, home management, yes, to a degree. House, yeah, sure, since I live in an apartment. I definitely have to consider my work environment. I don't have a school situation. I don't have a car situation, don't have a garage situation or a yard situation, even though I could put the balcony. I'll go ahead and do yard for the balcony. Clothes, yes. Possession, I'm skipping furniture because I think the furniture is an okay thing at this point. Possessions, yes. Don't have pets. I have a garden, again in quotes. I have a citrus tree that I am caring for. So I do need to pay attention because I don't want it to die. I want it to thrive. Organization, yes. Clutter, yes. Mail, Yeah, I'm going to skip that one. Support. Not quite sure what that means other than saying hiring a house cleaner. But I think that's a 2024 goal. Energy, sure. Peace and comfort, sure. All right. So spiritual and emotional growth is this color. All right. Spirituality, sure. I do not practice a specific religion. Faith and prayer, it's not necessarily a priority for me. Gratitude, yes. Meditation, sure, I can explore that's more. Nature, yes. Reflection, yes. Personal development, yes. Growth, sure. Self-actualization, I'm going to skip. Compassion for self, sure. Compassion for others, yes. Charity, not a priority at this point in time. Surrender, not sure what that means. Purpose, I know what that means, but not a priority. Process, also not a priority. Journaling, yes. Service, not a priority. Acts of kindness, not a priority. That's, again, something. Those are things I appreciate, but probably not where my energy needs to be going this year. Health and wellness. Diet, I hate that word. Nutrition, I prefer that word. Sleep, yes. Rest, yes. General health, yes. Exercise, yes. Water, yes. Habits, yes. Mental health, yes. Physical health, yes. Emotional health, yes. Vitality, not bad, but not a priority. Physical ailments, that's related to physical health, in my opinion. Depression, not bad, but I think my issues come from elsewhere. Anxiety, yes. Pain, yes. Stress, yes. Trauma, yes. Energy, yes. Aging, likely, but not a priority because everything else will address it. Therapy, I'm going to highlight that just as a reminder. Medication, yes. So there's that. And I'm just going bottom up because that's kind of where my brain's at right now. Family and relationships. Significant other, don't have one. And I don't really care about getting one at this point in time. Children, don't have them either. Parents, yes. Extended family, yes. Friends, yes. Physical connection, sure. Family activities, not really. Traditions, yeah. Figure out my own. Maybe here's probably something to do with traditions is document what I do. Like over on the table over there, I have a kind of little Christmas tree set up, and it's my holiday setup right now. And I need to document, like, is this something I want to try and do every year? Next year is going to be wonky just because of the move situation, since it's going to be right after Thanksgiving. But something for me to consider. Family schedules, don't have to worry about. Shared experiences, sure. Toxic relationships, I'm actually okay with. Boundaries, that's always a good thing. Appreciation, yes. Peace, yes. Healing, I don't think I need to quite at this point. Trust, yes. Intimacy, sure. Quality time, yes. Forgiveness, not going to worry about that, actually. Vulnerability, sure. All right. And work and learning, oops. If anybody has any questions, because I see that there are a few of you who are on and watching, please feel free to ask them. Let's see, career, job, sure, yes. Parenting, don't have to worry about. Homeschooling, don't have to worry about. Higher education, don't have to worry about. Learning skills, not going to worry about. Contribution, I'm going to skip. Purpose, sure. Fulfillment, sure. Coworkers, yes. Feeling appreciated, yes. Support, yes. Post-retirement activities, Can I daydream about them? Because I will daydream about them. And you know what? That might be something I need to do, is daydream about them to give me some energy to do what I'm doing. So we'll go ahead and say yes to that. Community, yes. Curiosity, sure. Vocational skills, I'm going to skip. There is a very good thing that I could, vocational skills with regards to writing would, to me, be building up your craft skills, so actual writing, as well as your business skills, because with everything, I think it's important to understand how to be a business person if you are a writer, no matter which publishing path you choose to take. I should say, if you choose to publish, because you can be a writer and absolutely choose not to publish. So good question from Halima. With HB90, you keep your Kanban visible. How do you keep your MäksēLife goals visible to keep progress? This is an excellent question because I'm really bad at it. I am finding more and more, I do need to find a way to keep the MäksēLife goals visible. I am using the companion notebook system with I'm going to use the HB90 cousin, at least start with the year with the HB90 cousin as my quote unquote main planner. So I need to figure out a way on my desk, probably, because this is the hard part for me. And maybe I need to do something in conjunction with my Kanban board, which my Kanban board, for those of you who don't know, is my bedroom door. The way I keep it open pretty much all the time. So I can easily see that from where I'm sitting right now here in my living room space, and immediately it's to my back when I'm facing the computers. But the moment I turn around, I can see it in my little office space, which is like directly attached to my bedroom. So it's very constantly visible. So I did kind of have some of my MäksēLife goals visible through the year, because I've got a poster of the results of an exercise we did in Club Mäksē 1.0, which was to envision the next 18 months. So second half of 2021 and all of 2022. So to kind of put my goals as of June, July 2021 forward. So I had that visible. So but that was stuff that I developed and created in June 2021. So having something like your monthly goals at the very least visible, I think was probably a good thing, because, and especially for somebody like me who does best with having things in her face. So I need to figure this out. So yeah, so I don't have a good answer for this. I have to find an answer for myself. So this is a great question. Thank you so much for asking that. So, all right, I'm going to do fun and recreation. I'm going to say pretty much yes to almost all of these. Joy, yes. Celebration, yes. Peak experiences, yes. Vacations, yes. Time off, yes. Rewards, yes. Accomplishments, sure. Social interactions, yes. Friends, yes. Dates, again, I kind of don't care right now about trying to get a significant other, so I'm going to skip that one. Activities, yes. Fun, yes. Laughter, absolutely. Rest and rejuvenation, yes. So yeah, that's so far the one that I've pretty much highlighted almost every single thing. Personal, let's see, self-image, yes, kind of. Self-worth, I think I'm okay with that. It's not a priority. Not bad, but not a priority. Self-love, yes. Self-care, yes. Confidence, I'm feeling good thing, but don't really have it as a priority. Happiness, yes. Peace, yes. Fulfillment, yes. Well-being, yeah. Mental stimulation, yes. Hobbies, yes. Projects, yes. Creativity, yes. Alone time, yes. I like my alone time. Support, and not necessarily priority. Sense of community, yes. Routines, not a priority. Attitude, not a priority at this point in time, but not a bad idea. Perspective, again, not a priority. Grace, yes. Planning, yes. So, all right. So we've got something else. Yes, ADHD, object permanence, is a real thing for me, which is why I asked. Thank you. I'm like, yes, that again, me, yes. This is why I need to figure out a solution too. All right, from Katie, my 3 HB90 goals each have a color: blue, purple, and blue. And on my daily pages, I will use the dot marker to quickly note tasks that correlate to an HB90 goal. Let's see. I added a single color, and I'm assuming from the ellipses you are continuing your comment, because I keep forgetting that there is a character limit, because I always set that character limit. If it's not a quick high five or go you when I write comments, they usually get really long. And so I added a single color to my color code to denote in my dailies related to any of my compass goals. So that's a really good point. When I was using the MäksēLife daily, early on, what I would do is highlight anything that I was doing that was related to a specific area of life. And so that was helpful to a degree. And then just how I used the daily kind of changed. So, all right. So we did the things to consider, and this is what it looks like for me right now. Again, I find this really useful when I'm having trouble coming up with goals. Like, I remember the first year when I was using the system, I was kind of like trying to think of, I forget which area of life, but there are a couple of areas of life where I was just like, I don't know what I should do. So I find that particular page really useful. And then this blank page is: use this space to create a list or mind map of ideas, dreams, and goals for the coming year. Have fun. The possibilities are endless. Well, I already have some ideas, as you guys saw. So I think what I need to do is figure out, I still haven't come up with ideas for financial. It's just, the problem for me with the financial area of life is that I have a tendency, this is where I most notice the impulse act, what's the word? The impulse control issues surrounding ADHD. It truly is where it hits me the hardest. So part of the thing, though, this is the other thing, is that because of what I'm doing with work and learning, that could significantly affect my general financial health. So I think what I might do, the deeper I think about it, I think what I might do for the financial area of life is make a goal surrounding mindset. Let's see, progress, because this is definitely a progress. Work on mindset and set, and maybe read books, etc. So, oh, Halima, yes. Online shopping plus TikTok equals dopamine slot machine. Oh, have you hit me hard with that one? Yes. It's honestly one of the reasons why I'm not currently like super on TikTok, because I was just like, ooh, shiny, pretty. Yes, done. Ooh, shiny, pretty. Yes, let's order. So, vision board is after. So after you kind of like work through some of your annual goals, then there is a vision board. And the guidance for that is: have some fun bringing your annual goals to life. Locate images, words, and phrases that resonate with the intentions you have created for this year using the internet, periodicals, and your own creativity. Choose items that make you feel good. This space is designed to inspire you. Visit this board often to keep you anchored to your goals and vision throughout the year. So this is kind of also related to that object permanence thing that, like I said, word of the year, and what we were just talking about with how do you like visually, at least for me, are reminded about your goals. I know some people who make their vision board the background for their desktops, and that's sometimes useful. Who was I talking to? I feel like, was it last night, this morning? It was last night. I was talking with a friend who was also in the MäksēLife chat. She's an author friend, so we also are connected on Facebook. So we were talking through Facebook Messenger, and she showed me a vision board that she made a couple of years ago that she is going back to for this year. And she had done it in a way that just made me perk up because I sometimes I prefer doing digital vision boards just because of, again, clutter, and me collecting magazines to do physical collages would be rough. So I tend to prefer digital vision boards. But the problem for me with digital vision boards, for some reason, is making them nice. So do you use Canva? Yes, I do. I absolutely use Canva. I have an iPad and keep seeing suggestions on vision boards using Canva, but I haven't ever used it. I use Canva a lot. I've really gotten into the habit of using it. I use it for creating the thumbnails for the YouTube channel. A friend of mine discovered the whiteboard function on it. That's been really nice the last few weeks. But what I started doing after my friend shared the vision board that she's mainly going to be working from, one of the things about it, I just realized, I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. This is really nice. And it's just like, essentially, I'm like, wait a minute. This is essentially having a background image and then using like a photo Polaroid frame. So in Canva, you can do a search for, if you just do a search for photo frame in Elements, you will get like kind of a Polaroid looking thing, because I can't think of the right word. And you can drop other pictures into it and it looks like a Polaroid thing. So it works better with bigger photos, truly. Like I did a screenshot cut down of the Amazon's #1 bestseller tag, and I dropped it into this photo frame, and it did not come out looking well. Do you pay for the premium Canva or just the free use? If so, is it worth the paid version? I do use the paid, and I've been doing it for a number of years. I have found it that it's worth it to me because I do use it so frequently, and I don't have to think about I don't have to think about it, whether or not I can use something. Because I pay for the pro, I can just use everything. Whereas with the free, there is a lot that you have access to, but you have to pay attention to whether or not it is free or for part of the paid use. And that means whether or not you have the pro account or if you're willing to pay for that particular element. Because before I had the pro account, I did buy some credits for specific elements. And that was fine, but I have found the pro really, really useful. Just remember with the free account, I didn't have to pay for the elements that were pro that I didn't have automatic access to in the free account until I tried to do something with it. If you just have it, like if you want to download it, then you have to pay for whatever elements that you're going to, that need to be paid for. But if you're not going to download it, then it's free. So, but you might have a little bit of a, what's the word? The clearish see-through overlay that my brain is just losing the words today. Watermark. There we go. So there might be a watermark on it, but I would say if it's not in your budget, maybe you have to be cautious about what elements that you're using. But again, there is a lot of stuff that is available to you as free. If it is in your budget, may not be a bad thing to get. If you are a writer and in publishing, there's another similar type of service called BookBrush. We've got 5 minutes before something I have to be at. So BookBrush is another paid service that has, it has a free level, but there are paid levels. One of the benefits of BookBrush is that you can create the like kind of 3D marketing images where you just drop in the images of books and it will automatically put it in to say, have it look like it's on an iPad or it's a print book or whatever. That is one of the benefits of BookBrush that I don't see in Canva. But there are other things like using the background remover. I don't, because that came in after I was already on the Pro account, I don't know if using the background remover on photos is something that is freely available to everyone or if you have to have Pro access. But with BookBrush, you only get access to a certain amount of background removal things. So I wouldn't say necessarily that having the Pro version of Canva is worth it just for the background remover, because again, that might be freely available to everyone. Yeah, I'm like, the fact I got used to like, I can remove as many backgrounds as I want on Canva, and I go to BookBrush. It's like, you could do X amount a month. And I'm like, wait, what? So that was the thing. But the reason I got it when I got it, even though I haven't really used BookBrush that much, was because there was a significant savings code that I had access to for unlimited time. And I knew I was going to need it within a year. So I went ahead and paid for it early just to get that lifetime savings code discount, essentially. But yeah, so those are some things to consider. And we are at the 57-minute mark, and I have something in 3 minutes. But thank you all for joining me today. I think the next few sessions are, because I think we've kind of pretty much worked through this. So I think maybe doing some starting stuff for HB90, because the next HB90 bootcamp starts on Sunday. And I know next week is going to be very hectic for me. So I would like to try and get some pre-planning done as much as I can with HB90. So that's probably going to be the next few sessions. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and keep watching the community tab for when I schedule the live streams. And I hope you have a great day, and may all your dreams be Ruby dreams. Bye-bye.